After recovering from the Amherst defection, the next great trouble Williams faced came not from within, but from abroad in the form of World War I. Williams' first brush with war occurred at the 122nd commencement, while Williams alums were enjoying reunion festivities. Men began receiving telegrams from the National Guard requiring their service, and they were called into action at the border during the Mexican controversy. Perhaps Williams' most distinguished war hero in World War I was Charles Whittlesey. Whittlesey led a distinguished career at Williams before enlisting in the service. He served in the 77th Division, 308th Battalion, which would eventually become known as the Lost Battalion. In 1918, after a successful advance, Whittlesey and his battalion were cut off in the Argonne Forest, unable to communicate with other battalions or receive supplies. Facing German fire, Whittlesey's Lost Battalion also contended with friendly fire due to a message via carrier pigeon that sent Allied forces the wrong coordinates. When Whittlesey and his men finally emerged from enemy lines, their numbers had dwindled from 494 men to just 194. Whittlesey was awarded the Medal of Honor following an honorable discharge, and Williams honored its war hero admirably, with the Williams Club in New York City featuring the Charles White Whittlesey Room until its closure in 2010. One of the legacies of World War I was the Institute of Politics, which had been conceived of prior to World War I and was delayed by the fighting. However, after the war, the idea took on greater import, and the trustees approved an annual summer conference to, quote, advance the study of politics and to promote better understanding of international problems and relations, according to President Harry Garfield, whose involvement in the war effort included serving as chairman of the Price Committee for the U.S. Food Administration and taking a leave of absence from the college from 1917 to 1919 to serve on the U.S. Fuel Administration. The Institute of Politics had its inaugural session in 1921 and served as a forum for professors at leading institutions to hold roundtable discussions and debates on the state of political affairs. Williams is also famous for its creation of the Victory Celebration. Conceived by President Garfield, the campus commemorated the achievements of Williams' men in the Army and Navy, and Garfield conferred the Williams Medal to honor alumni and students who had served in combat. During the Victory Celebration, the student body marched to Grace Hall, now known as Chapin Hall, where servicemen received their Williams medals. The celebration was the first of its kind at any American college or university. World War II changed the face of the college more indelibly than World War I. According to an article published in the Williams Record in February of 1943, 80% of the recently graduated class of 1942 was either enlisted or in officers' training in the armed service. The class of 1942 numbered 135 men, and according to a survey that reached 118 men, 94 were employed in the service. Enrollment was drastically reduced. The college could reach a capacity of 700 students, but in 1947, the incoming freshman class numbered just 27 men, and enrollment did not exceed 300 students total, with the expectation that enrollment would dwindle further due to the expansion of the enlisted Reserve Corps. However, the college was far from vacant, as the Naval Flight Preparatory School took over Williams' facilities. The college received 3 contingents of naval aviation cadets, and each class of cadets participated in 3 months of ground training at Williams before progressing to air training. The cadets were housed in Sage and Williams Halls, with freshmen housed in 6 of the 7 fraternity houses on campus. Officers and administrative offices were placed in Lehman Hall. Courier Hall, which then housed the Garfield Club, was re-envisioned as the Navy's mess hall. Williams also offered its faculty members to the cause. 38 faculty served as Navy instructors, in addition to their regular course load. Following the conclusion of hostilities, Williams was fundamentally changed as an institution. The GI Bill dramatically increased the number of applicants to the college, and while veterans returning to their alma mater after service were given priority admission, the college was stretched to its limits with enrollment. Williams' housing system came under particular duress, as larger doubles on campus were converted into triples, and the college searched for a way to accommodate married veterans on campus. To that end, Greylock Quad was renovated to create apartments for married couples. The post-war era provided the instruction of women to Williams, and while the evolution of women's roles on campus will be discussed later on the tour, Williams' accommodations for military couples earned the institution national acclaim for its reconversion. In an effort to alleviate the practical constraints of over-enrollment, Williams created a summer term, which counted as a semester's credit. The student body was less than enthusiastic about the prospect, and President Baxter ultimately offered exemptions to students who did not want to participate in the program. Williams' summer term lasted only 5 years, and in 1949, the college returned to a 2-semester school year. Beyond any institutional changes and restructuring, the post-war era transformed higher education in general, and due to the dedication of faculty and students, Williams College survived the transition in a manner that propelled it into the ranks of elite colleges.